Okay, so this recording is for the Lab 8 on interrupt, and this is related to using the button interrupt and control the LED. So the objective we want is that to have the startup to have both red and green flashing. Then when the button is pressed, first time pressed, flash the red, and the second time will flash the green, and then the third time it will go back. So we just have a three state diagrams here. Okay, so the code is really just reflect whatever these three states are, and the objective is that we will do the interrupt service routine, which is around here. And the interrupt service routine will only do is to update the state information by increment the state from 0 to 1 to 2, and then if it goes beyond 3, go back to 0. So the 0 will be the initial state, and then very much is clear of the interrupt. So in the interrupt service routine, we'll only do very little. So that should be pretty fast interrupt service. Then blinking the LEDs will all be done in the main program. So this is what the main program looks like. Okay. The main program starts from this particular line here, and just go through our regular thing of setting up the LEDs direction, the P1 direction, setting up the clear out the initial LED, and then the pull up resistors, the edge selector on the interrupt, and then clear out the initial interrupt flag and enable interrupt on the P1, and then we enable the CPU's interrupt. After that, in our previous program, we always stop right there, except on this time, what we will do is that we will just go ahead and just provide an infinity loop. So this is a while one loop. What it does is that it's just looping forever. In this looping here, we look at the state information, and if the state is 0, we will blink the red and the green, so red plus green. And if it's 1, we blink the red, and if it's 2, we blink the green. Okay, notice that we are using the break, and we're using a switch statements and having a different 3 cases here. So you might notice that what we do is we change the LED blink routines. We used to use like a red blink, green blink, but I just changed it to such that LED blink, and it will take whatever LED we want to blink on it. Okay, and so let's look at the LED blink routine here. LED blink routine will take one parameters coming in, which is just a color, so it's a red or it's a green. Once we get these things get executed, the LED blink will output control these 2 things to be the output. Then we turn it on. Okay, very much is that the first instruction here is to turn on if it's red and green, and it will turn on both red and green. And then we delay 1 second, and then we clear out, and then we delay another second. So it will turn on, delay some time, turn it off, and then delay some time. So this is complete the blink cycle. On this routine, it will blink any LEDs. So if when we pass in 2 LEDs, it will blink both LED. We pass in a red LED, it will only blink red, and pass green, it will only blink green. So very much it's a pretty straightforward implementation. So where is the state? The state is initialized just like your previous counter, and initialized as a outside global parameters. So global with the state, and initialize to 0. If you also notice that we do 0 is a flash, red and green, 1 is red, very much is identical to what the requirements ask us to do. Okay, to execute it, what we can do to verify it's working is we'll break it on. It's break it on that when the interrupt comes in, okay, and then we just increment the state. So every time when the button interrupt comes in, and we can check the state, and then when the state get increased, then we beyond 3 we reset the state, providing a cycle. All right, so this is how it works. Once we load the program, we start executing it, and then things start to blink, both red and green, which because of the state, in fact, is 0, sorry. We didn't push any button. So once we push the button, it does is that it hit the breakpoint, and the breakpoint is the state become 1. Okay, and then we continue on, and at this moment that the LEDs are not really going on, but if we kick it going again, it should get out of the interrupt service routine and then go back to the main program. So because the main program is the guy who is doing all the blinking stuff. All right, so let's keep it going, and the red start to blink, and if we hit the button again, it break and the state become 2, and if we let it go, the green start blinking. Okay. And hit it again, break it again, state become 3, and let it go, both red and green are blinking. And then if we hit it again, you go back to 1, and then the red start blinking again. So it's really just a demonstration of you can put all the delay informations, all the heavy duty work outside of the interrupt service routine and put all of them into the main program. And this is where you should put all the heavy duty lifting stuff out. All the delays and the blinking the lights are done inside the main program at the total tail end. All right.